Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And we thought we would burn off a lot of these clouds into our early afternoon and actually see some sunshine today, but it just didn't happen like that. Lots of clouds as we look back towards Wenatchee from our Rondo Sky-Fi tower camera. Of course, you can see Turtle Rock in the middle of your screen and a lot of those low-hanging clouds. That kept our temperatures well, and I am talking well below normal today. And we do have another storm system headed our way because of all those clouds, and here's how it should shape up over the next, about 12 hours or so. We'll see snow showers begin tonight. Not very heavy in our neck of the woods. A little bit to the west in the Cascades. We could see up to a half foot of snow, but most of the snow will be in eastern Washington. We're anywhere from Ritzville up to Wilbur and then over into Spokane area. Could pick up 3 to 4 new inches of snow out of this system here in the Wenatchee Valley and the surrounding area. I'd say about an inch at the most as we wake up tomorrow morning. But be careful for that morning commute tomorrow morning. We'll talk much more about weather, and there's a warm-up in it. We'll talk about it coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Moses Lake man was arrested Saturday night after he allegedly fled the scene of a 2-car injury accident in the George area. Someone broke into R&R Espresso in George early Monday morning and took all the money that had been earned over the weekend. And on Saturday, the Washington House passed a bill that would make the state allow for the year-round observation of daylight saving time. But first, we begin tonight. A 25-year-old Leavenworth man had to be rescued by a helicopter Sunday afternoon after breaking both his legs in a snowboarding accident in the backcountry near Stevens Pass. Captain Jason Reinfeld of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office said numerous personnel were first dispatched on snowmobiles to Henry Creek drainage area to assist with the rescue of Brian Shortino. Now being treated at Central Washington Hospital, Shortino, a Wildlands firefighter, said he was training for the upcoming fire season with a group of friends when the accident happened.
Where do I start? I was on Jim Hill, up Highway 2 right before Stevens Pass, and we were just skinning up all morning and, trying to make it to the top. Made it to the top. Beautiful scenery, blue skies, no wind, really beautiful powder, and we were dropping all the way down, and right at the base maybe of that little pitch there, I was just trying to meet up with my friends, and I was taking a different line than they did. Usually you want to follow the same lines that your friends are doing because it's usually the safer route. And I just went a little bit to the right of that and went over a little cornice and just dropped right into a 15, 20-foot creek hole and immediately broke both my legs right through in half. I looked at my legs and they were bent, and I was like, this is bad. But I had the best people out there taking care of me. One of my friends are a repeller, for fire, so he called out a Type 3 helicopter right away. One had a radio, went down to the road, called the ambulance. One went up, hiked up a little higher to get some service to call, and they took me out of I was in the stream hole for a little bit, getting kind of cold, but I didn't care about the cold at that time. I was kind of more worried about the pain and stuff, but they stinted me up with poles and straightened my legs out, and I must have had like 8 people carry me out to a flatter spot until the helicopter got there.
A Moses Lake man was arrested Saturday night after he allegedly fled the scene of a 2-car injury accident in the George area. It happened around 6:30 last night on I-90 and Highway 281. State troopers say 41-year-old Brian Bickle struck another vehicle driven by a George man. Troopers say Bickle was caught after a brief chase when his car crashed into a barrier and then became stuck after striking the car driven by 41-year-old Amadio Coronel Vera. He and Bickle escaped uninjured. 3 family members in Coronel Vera's vehicle were transported to Quincy Valley Hospital for treatment. Troopers say alcohol and/or drugs were involved and other charges are pending. Someone broke into R&R Espresso in George early Monday morning and took all the money that had been earned over the weekend. Surveillance cameras were able to capture images of the suspect inside the coffee stand, and the owner, Richardson, believes he had an accomplice outside. Anyone with information on the suspect is asked to call the Grant County Sheriff's Office at 509-760-5080. Well, hopefully you remembered to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour over the weekend for daylight saving time. On Saturday, the Washington House passed a bill that would make the state allow for the year-round observation of daylight saving time. House Bill 1196, also known as HB 1196, passed the House chamber on Saturday by a vote of 89-7, with the legislation now headed to the Senate. Saturday's vote by the House comes as more than 24 states are contemplating legislation which puts a halt to the twice-yearly clock change. Last week, U.S. Senator Marco Rubio and U.S. Representative Vern Buchanan, both of Florida, introduced legislation to make daylight saving time permanent nationwide. Coming up next, a longtime Wenatchee lawyer is favored by his peers to succeed Douglas County Superior Court Judge John Hotchkiss. Chelan School District's proposed construction bond is the topic of a public informational meeting tonight at the high school. And the Missed East Cascades Scholarship Organization recently crowned a Wenatchee Valley College graduate as its 2019 title holder. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Longtime Wenatchee area attorney Brian Huber is favored by his professional peers as the most qualified candidate to replace retiring Douglas County Superior Court Judge John Hotchkiss. Huber outpolled several other local attorneys in an online survey conducted by the Chelan-Douglas County Bar Association. Bar Association President Clark Tibbetts shared the results of the poll with NCWLIFE News. Tony D. Tomaso and Nicole Hankins placed second and third in the poll of Bar Association members. Also receiving votes were Tyler Hotchkiss and Byron Moore. The results have been shared with Governor Jay Inslee for his consideration. The governor is expected this month to announce his selection of a judge to succeed Hotchkiss, who leaves after serving 20 years on the bench. Chelan School District's proposed construction bond is the topic of a public informational meeting tonight at the high school. The meeting is one of a series of informational sessions to be held this month in advance of the April 23rd special election. The proposed $75 million bond would fund construction of a new high school. The new high school would be built on land purchased by the district in the 1990s on North Apple Blossom Drive near the Mountain Goat soccer field. Funds would also be used to reconfigure grade levels to reduce overcrowding. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 p.m. Ballots will be mailed out on April 5th. The school district has produced an 8-page bond brochure, which includes a breakdown of the project costs and tax impact. It's available at the district's website. The Miss East Cascades Scholarship Organization, the preliminary local pageant for Miss Washington, recently crowned Wenatchee Valley College graduate Jayla Young as its 2019 title holder. The Miss East Cascades pageant was held Saturday night at the Numerica Performing Arts Center and featured contestants from around the region. Miss East Cascades represents Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, Grant, and Kittitas counties. Jayla Young was crowned Miss East Cascades and received multiple scholarships totaling more than $2,700. Overall, the scholarships and in-kind contributions presented Saturday night totaled over $14,000. In June, Young will vie for the title of Miss Washington and potentially Miss America. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, so today I'm tackling medical assistant ninja, trying to get that next level career. Man, this dead-end job is holding me back. Decision time, I'm going charter college. Now I'm a medical assistant student. Rocking it? Yeah, earned the President's Award. Score! Took my career to the next level. Hey, I can level up to medical assistant ninja, so can you. Get on it.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. On Friday, we gave you a preview of the topic we'll be looking at this week during our feature story segments. Tonight, the first installment of a series on the Chelan County Drug Court from the NCWLIFE magazine with Caitlin Hedersheet.
Drug court team is made up of different components, a prosecutor part, treatment part, and a defense part. Once we had the green light for drug court actually happening, I volunteered for it. I've seen the program work. I believe in it. But there isn't a week that goes by, unfortunately, in this county where we don't get a felony methamphetamine charge, a felony heroin charge, different medications that are not prescribed. It's a problem in our county, and we're not talking, for the most part, large amounts, but personal use, but a lot of personal use. So to have a program that helps people get back into what we want in society, neurotypical, I think is fantastic, and I was very excited for the program to get started.
So one of the things about drug court is it's obviously very different from a regular, what I would consider a track for a criminal case. It's more of a problem solving, I don't know that collaborative is the right word, but it's more about figuring out what this person needs, right? This person is committing crimes or allegedly committing crimes, at least in large part due to some sort of substance use disorder or substance abuse, and this is a way to determine, exactly what the issue is, get that person the help that he or she needs, first of all, to battle their addiction. One of the things that they talked about at the National Drug Court Conference is you need to focus less on what did you do and what happened to you is more the question you need to ask is what happened to you, not what have you done, but what happened to you. Because when people have this chemical dependency, it isn't just one day they decided, oh, I'm going to become a drug addict. People don't say that. They usually had something traumatic happen to them in the past, and so they need to deal with that. A lot of times, this is something that started when they were very young as well. In the formative years, typically, I mean, the age that we hear over and over again is 13. That's when, and when especially with meth, it seems like 13 is the age when people first tried meth. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've read that from somebody's file. And so you have to look at all of those things, and rather than, okay, this person has an addiction and they're caught with possession of meth, or they're caught out stealing mail out of people's mailboxes to try and maybe forge checks. But why are they doing that? What happened? And more often than not, it's to feed a drug addiction.
If they get through the program, which is very demanding and takes a long time, it's a lot easier to do your jail time than to go to the program. But if they get through the program, then they don't have a felony conviction for that crime. And hopefully we won't see them again. And if it works, we're hopeful for that outcome.
This is really what we're going for here is rehabilitation, trying to get people clean and sober and back on their feet and in stable housing and able to go somewhere without having to fall back into their old patterns. And so I think it's rehabilitative more than restorative.
If we don't find out why we do what we do, we tend to do it again. And that doesn't always mean that they're going to use chemicals again or create a crime again, but even dysfunctional behaviors that create pain and chaos in their life. They'll do it again and again. Any of us will, unless we learn how to identify what we're doing, why we're doing it, and making changes in that stuff. So it's always important to get to some of those core things that create big messes.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to those details, let's take a look outside our weather window. And we're looking back from Orondo at Turtle Rock out in the Columbia River, and a lot of low-hanging clouds. We had some fog to begin our day, and it just didn't go away. Now we're beginning to see the beginning of a storm system moving in, and that's the cloudiness that we're actually seeing now on the way to a little bit more snow overnight. We'll talk more about that in a second. But with all those clouds today, boy, our temperatures just did not warm up. We started off at 19 degrees, which ties our record low set back in 1969. But get this, we set a record low temperature going back to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and tied a record this morning. That's how cold we've been to start our day the last 5 days. 25 is all for our official high temperature. Look at that. Well below 52 degrees, which is our normal high temperature. Beautiful one back in 2007 at 72 degrees. And as we mentioned, we tied the record of 19 set back in 1969. Still sitting at 2.16 inches of precipitation for the year. Snowfall, I didn't get it in there, but it is at 25.6 inches for the year, which goes back to December 1st of last year. Different times now. Sunrise this morning at 7:22 because of daylight saving time. And the sunset tonight will be straight up at 7 o'clock. Let's take a look now at your surface loop and see what we can expect through this week and into the upcoming weekend. Tonight at 10 o'clock, cloudy skies. Here it comes, a 50% chance of snow. We don't expect a lot of accumulation out of this storm system, maybe an inch or so, and that's counting what we get overnight and probably into tomorrow morning, because that thing isn't leaving real quickly. We will see some scattered snow, about a 50% chance of it as you make your morning morning commute tomorrow morning, so visibilities could be down a little bit, and maybe some slick roadways out there tomorrow morning. By 4 o'clock, though, tomorrow afternoon, we expect partly cloudy skies here in north central Washington. A little bit warmer tomorrow. We should, for the first time, and boy, a long time, get into the 40s. Wednesday, sunshine as most of this storm system moves into Montana and Wyoming. We are seeing a big low out in the Pacific, but high pressure is beginning to build along the coast, and that will keep that system pretty much at bay. By Thursday of this week, partly cloudy. We'll see light winds on Thursday. Still not ruling out a little bit of that patchy morning fog, but the high sun angle of our March sun should burn that off rather quickly. Partly cloudy for Friday. Look at this beautiful day. Warmer temperatures. We are going to climb in the mid to upper 40s by the end of the week, and as we climb into our upcoming weekend, things look very nice. Saturday, partly cloudy and warmer. The dark gray clouds that we see here, that's mostly fog, so most of the cloudiness will stay to our north after we clear out. Saturday high temperatures near 50 degrees, and even better by the time we get into Sunday. We expect mostly sunny skies with highs by the end of the weekend in to the lower 50s, and boy, that'll sure feel nice, won't it? Now our quick lube and tune forecast. 28 our overnight low tonight. We'll see 41 for a high tomorrow. We still could see some morning snow showers and then clearing during the day tomorrow. 43 on both Wednesday and Thursday. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies by midweek. And then look at that warm up by the end of the week and into the weekend. 47 Friday, 48 your high on Saturday, and Sunday's high temperature under mostly sunny skies at 53 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Mary Maids.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. For the first time in team history, the Wenatchee Wild will play a Game 7 in their playoff series. That by virtue of Wenatchee's 3-1 win in Game 6 last night over West Kelowna in the best-of-7 series to tie it at 3 games apiece. We got here by virtue of Friday night's 4-2 win by the Warriors to take a 3-2 series lead. So last night was a must-win for Wenatchee to stay alive in the playoffs. The Wild scored first 5 minutes into the game on a power play goal by Lucas Sauter. West Kelowna tied it less than a minute later on Parm make that Dollywall's 6th goal of the series. It would remain tied until the 3rd. Our checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Here come the Wild, dished along, and Sauter will chase after it on the left side. Got caught up in the skates of the linesman right in front of the bench. And then I think too many men on the ice. You know, that's an odd call. Bangs it down low for Sauter. Sauter up high to Sasaki. He shoots. Save, rebound, score! Lucas Sauter tapping home the rebound. The high rising shot. Hopkins stopped it initially, but as the rebound fell in front, Lucas Sauter was right there to tap it home. Oh, a shot and a score right off the draw. They won it back to head over to Chorney, and Chorney unloaded from the midpoint. I don't know what happened to the puck all of a sudden, but it's bouncing all over the place. Now played by Arnold as he stole it away. He's in behind, 2-on-1. Gashevsky shoots and he scores! A shorthanded goal for Matt Gashevsky. That crazy bouncing puck bounced right to Josh Arnold. Arnold able to step in behind the D, created a 2-on-1. The crossing feed for Gashevsky over on the near side. And he drills the one-timer home. And off the draw, slapped at by Adams, rolls behind, and then driven ahead, and there's a breakaway pass for Cullen. He shoots, and he scores. Oh, wait, no, says the referee. The ref says no. The goal light went on, and the referee has waved it off. Play is continuing. And the referees are going to talk about it. And now the referee comes over, and he will visit with Brandon West at the West Kelowna net. Boy, a stretch play where the puck was saucered. We've seen him do it so many times. It was saucered deep out of the West Kelowna zone. Gloved by Cullen. He caught it at the far blue line, dropped it, raced in alone. Put the shot high on the glove side. But when the puck hit the ground and it came back down, it was in the blue paint. Parks spun around. They swatted it away. The referee threw his arms out and said, no, it didn't cross the line. It looks like they're going to say no goal. Puck shoveled along the near boards, played by Stratton, along for Souter. Souter over to Reifenberger. Into the empty net. And there will be hockey. Oh, there's Cullen going to come and run in on the celebration. Granted, one of the Wild players may have made contact first as they were passing through, but it was kind of incidental. Marco Reifenberger, empty net goal. Cullen will knock it out to center. He gets it on net, but Parks steers it away. And there will be a Game 7 here tomorrow night.
So Wenatchee and West Kelowna will drop the puck one more time in tonight's winner, advancing to the playoffs. The loser season's over. Game time 7:05 at the Town-Toda Center. Even though we had a beautiful sunny weekend, the snow still wreaking havoc on the spring sports schedule for high schools across eastern Washington. They will play. They were able to play some soccer on Friday and Saturday in the Apple Bowl. Let's take a look at the scores. On Friday, Eastmont blank Central Valley 2-0, while Wenatchee topped Meade 1-0. Then on Saturday, the Panthers beat the Bears 2-1. The Wildcats topped Meade 1-0. Wenatchee is slated to host Quincy tomorrow night. We'll have that live here on the NCWLIFE channel with Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen on the play-by-play. Following the soccer Saturday, the Wenatchee Thunder were able to win their first lacrosse game of the season as they hosted Skyline. Mason Dahlbeck scored twice. Ben Higley, Lucas Jobe, and Tristan Pluck each scored. Thunder picked up a victory 5-4. Wenatchee and Eastmont had to move their softball games to Western Washington away from the snow on Saturday, and both came up on the short side to Sumner. A 10-run win for Sumner over Wenatchee, and they beat Eastmont 7-1. Wenatchee's scheduled game versus Cascade Thursday this week has been moved to April 17th. Our broadcast schedule here on the NCWLIFE channel will include some soccer tomorrow night. We'll have hockey on Thursday night and Friday night, and then Saturday we'll bring you Sunnyside Eastmont boys soccer. That'll be live at 7:30. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCWLIFE channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.